Continuing on from last week on how do I cope living with cancer in a COVID lockdown and having to self-isolate. Here's a bit more of what I'm doing. Hi, so this is Dave, and really this one continues on from my last video when I was talking about how we cope with the COVID lockdown, having to self-isolate because we suffer from cancer and on chemo, and basically how do we manage and cope with this. In the last video I did show you my exercise equipment which I use daily most days, and I think it is important that when you're suffering from an illness you keep your body as fit as possible. And I'm not talking about being a super athlete or running 10 miles or anything like that, but doing some daily exercise helps to keep the body in good trim. Another thing that helps is to keep the mind positive. This is, I think, one of the most important aspects of any illness, and having a positive outlook is going to help your body work with the different drugs and chemicals the doctors are giving to you and help to aid the recovery and speed it along. And hopefully with this we can all come out with a positive result at the end of the treatment. The other thing we have to do is look maybe for hobbies and to do something different. Well, this is one of mine. I'd never made a video blog before. I was actually looking into the possibility of starting to do some to go out and look at places of interest, and then all of a sudden I found I have this cancer. And so instead of just putting it on the shelf, I decided to start making these blogs looking at cancer and how I cope with it. It's helping me, and also I'm learning. I'm learning how to edit videos. Different ones have got different things in. You may have seen in the last one I actually found a way that I could add still pictures into the frame. I also done a still frame animation of my daily start with the many different tablets that I have to take in the morning. Although this does vary from day to day and from week to week. It's a strange mixture that they give you, but they tell you to take them and when to take them, and we follow their instructions. And here today, one thing that everybody can do is go out for a walk. And one of the things I'm very fortunate with is living by the sea. In January, when it's quite cold, there's not too many people on the beach, and so social distancing is not a problem. I can see in the distance one person walking on the footpath. No, there's two people walking on the footpath on the promenade, but that's fine. I'm down here by the sea. I have seen one or two other people down here, but with the beautiful wide beach that we have here, I tend to keep more of a 5 metre distance than 2 metres because being vulnerable, I want to be as careful as I can and keep the distance as wide as possible. And even walking by the sea, I know some of my other blogs have had the sea on them, and it's very calming. It's very pleasant to walk on the beach. You've got the sea beside you rolling in, and every day it's different. The sand moves. You'd be surprised how much the sand moves about from one day to day depending on how the wind and the tide are blowing. And this all adds to the interest of doing this sort of activity. And wherever you are, there must be somewhere you can go out for a walk. Even just looking out to the sea has quite a calming effect on you as a person. So strongly recommend it. And if you're in the countryside, go for a walk in the countryside, look at the trees, look at the animals, look at the insects. We often miss a lot of the small detail that's around us because we don't really look. But when you're in a situation where you're not so well, look for the detail, find the interest, look at every little thing that's there. Build up a picture in your mind and carry it with you. And think of all the positive vibes that there are around you. Even here you can see there's where the weed has been washed up onto the beach. it's a different place each day depending on how high the tide has come in and where it's been blowing to. Well, that's the first bay now that I've just finished, and now we're coming on to the second bay. All of these boulders were placed here in 2015 because the beach was disappearing, but these boulders now keep the beach in place. Yes, the sand moves between them, but it basically retains the beach and keeps it here for everybody's enjoyment. And it's a very popular beach in the summer months. There'll be lots of people here in July and August, but this is January and it's a chilly day, and I've got it more or less to myself, and I'm very happy. That's all for this blog. So this is Dave signing off and saying goodbye. I hope you've enjoyed this one. It's a little bit different.